Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend DG Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/Capes and Lunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Jeremy Adams, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
In brightest day,
in blackest nights,
no evil shall escape my sight,
but those who worship evil's might.
Beware my power.
Green Lantern's light. Hello, and welcome back to Sector 2814, the Green Lantern podcast. It's part one of Sinestro War. We are here. And by we, I mean I am Phil, and over there, master of the Green Lantern Corps, it is.
I am Will. Hey, everyone.
That's right. So, yeah, like I said, we're going to be first week of our big four-part, our month review of Sinestro Corps War. So, and yes,
and it is good.
Starts off with a bang. All right, so, and once again, you'll hear no interruption in your regularly scheduled podcast. But it's been what, like 10 days since we talked, William?
It has. I had to travel during this week, so we didn't do our normal time. And
I'm just trying to remember what we talked about last. Did we talk the finale, the finale of Star Trek: Strange New Worlds?
I hadn't watched it yet, I don't think. So, no, we talked about the musical episode.
Oh, yeah. So what you see about finale? Yeah.
Last episode was good and a cliffhanger.
I know. Lilith and I were talking about it on Salty and Petty. I was like, you knew. I wasn't even looking at the clock, but the minute like they started like panning, and I'm like, no, don't you dare end on that. That's where they ended it. I'm like,
they did.
And like me and her were talking about with that writer's strike. I'm like, it's gonna be at least a year or more until we see the next season, probably. It's like, wow.
It's such a great. I mean, I loved the. I think I saw a meme where, they had Pike basically saying, we're getting it from." The fans are saying the show is too light and too happy, so let's do one with PTSD and prisoners and murder and stuff. Oh, no, it's too dark. Okay, let's do a musical. Okay, no.
I think that's why the crossover and the musical were so close together, because we, the other two episodes were heavy, so it's just like, let's mix up the tone. Let's not just like go out on like two heavy episodes.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, this season's been. It was really great. I mean,
well, like I told Lilith, I think it's funny. Like I don't know if it was the intentional homage to the original series or not, but it's like that outpost or whatever looking like an old 20th century town. I'm like, remember the original series when like every planet they went to was like, oh look, it looks like ancient Rome, or it looks like this. Or,
look, we're driving through something that looks nothing like Northern California, while we're in good old Austin Powers.
Oh, that speed bump looks like Joan Collins.
Yeah. Nice way to tie that back in.
So yeah, I mean, God, now so we're gonna have to wait forever for the next season. But that's what me and Lilith were talking about. Because she's like, oh, do you think they're eventually gonna put Pike in that chair? I said, yeah. I said, I don't know, it might not be 5 years, 5 seasons or whatever, but eventually, when Anson Mount's like ready to leave, maybe they'll do that. And then, are they going to continue on or spin out like a redo of the original series, bring in, what's his face, Paul Wesley as Kirk, and just do like the original series just with this new cast or whatever?
I don't know. I mean, we've been introduced to a Mr. Scott now.
I was going to say, we got Scott. Yeah.
So we've got Scotty, we've got Uhura, we've got Spock, we've got Kirk. No Bones yet, and no Chekhov, no Sulu.
Oh my, yeah.
We've got Nurse Chapel, right? We've got, yeah, it's just such a good show. Such a good
Oh
show.
yeah, good writing.
And we were talking before we went on about Green Lantern Night Terrors, so
Yes,
I'm looking forward to finally getting to read that real soon.
yes. It's good, and like I keep harping on it. Of course, it fits right in the continuity because it's Jeremy Adams still. So
hmm
he writes the
Yeah,
ongoing book. Yeah,
one would hope that he would, talk to the writer of the regular series a little bit.
you would think. Yeah. Oh my
Yup.
god. Oh my god. I had to send I sent little screenshots of a chat. I was in the a chat with Ray and Justin and them was it
Uh-huh.
yesterday or the day? Oh yeah, it was yesterday. Yeah, Ray goes, hold on, let me find this. Ray messaged me. He goes, so Finn jumped out in front of me this morning as I was his son, and as I was making my way to the kitchen, he just said, Batman is better than Moon Knight, laughed and ran away. He goes, what? WTF? I'm like, I'm just like, why do I feel like the kid's on the payroll now?
Yeah. Wow. Somebody's gotten to him.
I'm like, oh my lord. I'm like, is he a regular listener to our Batman podcast?
Batman, my favorite character.
Maybe, I don't know. Nice.
So
Ready to roll, man? Let's
I
dive
was gonna say, what is this? Ain't no Guy Gardner week. Yeah, let's get into it.
Let's get into this thing. And hey, look. Let's see. This is Volume 1. Volume 2.
Ooh.
And Tales of the Sinestro Corps.
Hey.
And I have the Absolute Edition back right there. But it's kind of tall. These are easier to read. So.
Do you have the floppies too? Do you have the floppies too?
Of course, they're just not currently easily accessible. How about that?
I know. I mean, yeah, I have the floppies too, but I did end this also on DC Universe Infinite, kids. So
nice.
All right. Let's see. We got. All right. Of course, this whole thing starts in Green Lantern Sinestro Corps Special #1.
Mm-hmm.
From August 2007, the Sinestro Corps War prologue, The Second Rebirth.
I wonder where that comes from.
Writer Jeff Johns, of course. Penciler Ethan Von Sciver, who also does the inks. Colors Moose Bauman. Letter Rob Lee. And editors Peter Tomasi and Elizabeth V. Garland. And let's not forget the backup, the other story in here. Tales of the Sinestro Corps, the greatest once, the greatest again. Boy, I wonder who they're talking about.
I don't know. Who could that be?
I don't know.
That be?
Because Jeff Johns wrote that too, but penciler this time, Dave Gibbons.
Nice.
Boy, think he likes Green Lantern or something? All right. Did you put a yellow light on?
No, I'm looking something up for Sinestro Corps War. The white screen. There you go.
But you're trying to put yourself in yellow light or something.
I actually have. No, I'm not going to do that.
All right. So, now wait till next week, kids. He's going to be dressed like the wizard.
That's right. Ba-dum-bum.
Sinestro, reflecting on his past as a Green Lantern, his banishment from the Corps, and subsequent battles with Hal Jordan and Kyle Rayner, recites the oath of the Sinestro Corps as he charges his yellow power ring. Hoping to learn more about the Sinestro Corps after Batman. All right. Hoping to learn more about the Sinestro Corps after
Batman, my favorite character,
had nearly been drafted into its ranks. The Justice League attempts to question Zoom about the whereabouts of Sinestro, his former Secret Society of Supervillains teammate. The speedster escapes their clutches, revealing nothing, Hal Jordan decides that answers will best be found on Oa and flies off. So, see, look, I made you do your homework. Now you're familiar with Zoom.
Exactly.
See, you knew exactly what he's talking about when he's like, "Oh, you have to go through tragedy."
Exactly. Yep. That's his whole shtick now. Now we know.
See, look at that, kids. Timing. So, this will drop first week of September. So, yes, kids, stay tuned. This week, you should have listened to the first part this week and the second part next week because Will and I will be doing 2 weeks on Zoom. So,
Yep.
in Sector 424, Graf Torin and Vode M encounter a yellow power ring flying indiscriminately through space, nearly destroying a spaceborne church lying in its path. They are joined by Kyle Rayner, who, through the power of Ion, is able to capture the ring. Unfortunately, it isn't the only one, as dozens of other rings fly past them. In Sector 3, Bedovian receives a message from Arkillo. It's time to wake up. On Oa, the Guardians of the Universe question the imprisoned cyborg Superman about his knowledge of the multiverse. Henshaw has discovered that New Earth is the keystone of the multiverse, and if it is destroyed, so will the rest of the multiverse, leaving only the antimatter universe intact. The Guardians suspect that Henshaw plans to do this, noting his destruction of Coast City, which allowed Parallax to gain control of Hal Jordan. They also note that Coast City, though rebuilt, is largely empty despite Hal Jordan's protection. It remains a place of fear. Henshaw counters that without life, there will be no fear, avarice, or hate, while Ganthet and Sade, a female guardian, counter that with life, there is hope, compassion, and love. The two believe that an ancient prophecy known as the Blackest Night is coming to pass. The other guardians, however, dismiss the prophecy and order Henshaw in prison for all eternity to preserve the safety of the multiverse. Damn, throw the book at him.
Exactly. The Book of Oa. But
Meanwhile, Guy Gardner visits Salak, trying to get Hal, Cal, and John Stewart an audience with the Guardians. Hal has a brief incident with the other Lost Lanterns, much to John's annoyance. Cal is moody, remembering that his mother's will is being read on this day. All he really wanted from her estate was a painting of a boy in a field, which they used to make stories about. Remember that, kids.
it's
However,
important.
yes. However, as they're speaking, the yellow ring transports Cal to the antimatter universe world of Quard. Here, he witnesses a massive gathering of the Sinestro Corps. He is noticed and is soon captured by Sinestro. Meanwhile, O is attacked by a strike team of Sinestro Corps members. Bedovian starts off with a sniper attack 3 sectors away and continues fire. Oh my lord, I don't think I even realized that. He's firing from 3 sectors away.
Sectors away.
And continues firing until John Stewart takes him down with his own sniper rifle. After the battle, which results in many Green Lantern deaths, Hal, Guy, and John learn that Superboy Prime, our favorite, has been freed from his science cell. Superboy Prime, my favorite. No.
Not him.
No.
Not him.
On Quard, Sinestro tortures Cal and reveals that Ion is a willpower entity that was bonded to Cal and removes it from him. Sinestro further reveals that his mother didn't contract a mysterious virus, but was instead infected by Despodelis, a sentient biovirus and Sinestro Corps member, as Cal's fear is losing the people he loves. All but broken, a frightened, weakened Cal is sent into the Yellow Lantern Central Power Battery and possessed by Parallax. He is announced to be, along with Henshaw and Superboy Prime, the herald of the Sinestro Corps Guardian of Fear. On Oa, Ganthet and Sade feel a wave of coldness wash across the emotional spectrum and fear that a great evil has returned. Heading into their base, Sinestro and Parallax enter a room where Henshaw is being repaired and Superboy Prime is outfitted with new armor. Sinestro announces that the Corps is ready as he and Parallax bow before their guardian, the Anti-Monitor!
Yes, indeed.
So, all right, before we get to the next story, what did you think of that?
That's pretty freaking awesome, wasn't it? I mean, that was the opening salvo, right? Although I guess we got the Tales of the Sinestro Corps as backups in the Star Sapphire arc, right? So there's three, is it three of those? Or yeah, 18, 19, and 20, I think. Yeah. We get the fourth one coming up. I wonder who that's about.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it does. I think it kind of really. Well, that's the thing. One of as good as John, a writer as John's is, one of the things that he has kind of a tendency, I think, to do is, besides ripping people's arms off, is maybe go a little over the top as far as, in the murder and the mayhem. I mean, there were a lot of Green Lanterns that were, unceremoniously. Did we see? Oh wait, that's coming up in another one. A lot of them are killed off pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's still a really, really good kickoff to the whole Sinestro Corps War.
Oh yeah, definitely. Wait.
Art's great, writing's great.
Oh, court, yeah.
And
the anti-monitor, who saw that coming?
Yeah. Wait a minute. What? Where did he come from?
Because unless it's like time travel, I think this might be the first time we've seen the anti-monitor since Crisis.
I think so. Yeah.
It's been about 20
right.
years. 20 years since we've seen the anti-monitor.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That is. That was. I don't remember. See, I remember reading this coming out, but I don't remember much about it. So, yeah, I'm like, wow, I don't remember that happening. I don't remember that happening. But yeah, a really great issue.
Yeah. Great issue. And again, our least favorite plot point, it's like, oh yeah, that little Sinestro Corps guy killed Kyle's mother. It's like, yeah, nobody, but nobody could detect them. So
yeah.
Nobody, yeah, no.
Well, but they do kind of speak to that again in one of the backup stories, right? Because that one lantern looks all over his world and doesn't find anybody until he gets infected and die, and then right before he doesn't die, I don't know, he sees him when before he passes out or something, leave with his lantern.
All right, so should we talk this backup?
You bet. Do it.
All right. Again, in those Green Lantern issues, we got backups. We're introducing new Yellow Lanterns, but this time we get, in the greatest again, the greatest once the greatest again, we get Lycia Drac relates the tale of Sinestro from the Book of Parallax.
Who is he?
Sinestro was sent by the Guardians to Earth to train Hal Jordan. Although initially shocked at Jordan's recklessness, Sinestro soon learned that the human was much like himself and they came to trust each other. However, a later visit to Corrigar caused Jordan to label Sinestro as an oppressive dictator, resulting in his banishment from the Corps. He was sent to the antimatter universe where he crafted a new ring and met the anti-monitor. So.
Nice.
So I mean, Sean's really plays up here where it's like, oh yeah, they were, if nothing else, at the end of the day, they came to at least a grudging respect for each other until.
Mm-hmm. Until they weren't. They were friends until they weren't.
Until you find out your friend's running a repressive regime.
Planet.
Yeah. Just looking at the notes here. Vixen mentioned that Flash hasn't given them a definitive answer yet. He just came back from being lost in the Speed Force during the Lightning Saga from Justice League of America 10. Oh yeah, of course, kids. Remember, Superboy Prime was last imprisoned in the middle of a Red Sun Eater back in Infinite Crisis 7. We covered that.
We did indeed.
And
And I do like the the insult that Guy, passes his way as he's leaving the Sun Eater.
oh, I love the giant Supergirl. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, that's Guy. That's Guy.
But yeah, like I said, big opening salvo there from the Sinestro Corps.
Mm-mm. So let's see, we've got 3 more issues to talk about this time.
Yeah.
So is it basically 4, 4, 4, 4, and
Here, let me see here. Open the schedule here. I think most weeks it's gonna be 4, but let me open. I'm trying to remember.
because
One.
the scale of this thing is pretty amazing. I mean, this was really tightly plotted. It wasn't like crossovers before. This thing was really focused, and every part of it really mattered.
Oh
Right?
yeah.
Everything was important to it. You needed to you had to read it to get the whole story.
Oh
And
yeah.
because
All
that was the
yeah.
Sinestro Corps War. Yeah.
Yeah. The first 3 weeks are going to be 4 issues. The last week's going to be 5 because we're going to squeeze that Secret Files and Origins in there too. So
Okay, awesome. So 17 total issues over the course of
a month,
what, 2 months?
1 month. Oh, you mean it when it came
Yeah.
out? Yeah.
When it came out, it's like 2 months, right? Because I think
Something
there's
like
2
that, I
issues.
think. Yeah.
2 issues of Green Lantern, 2 of Core. No, it's had to be 3 months because I think there's 3 issues of each of those.
Well, it starts. Well, Green Lantern 21's the one this week, and then it goes. So Green Lantern 21 to 25. So
Oh, okay. So 4 issues,
yeah.
or
So
5 issues.
I was gonna say, was it twice? Was it?
I don't remember. Huh.
Yeah, it was. It went for a while.
I guess it went on for a while. I thought it was more contained, but I mean, we had the Tales of Sinestro Corps specials. We had the Sinestro Corps, and then we had Green Lantern and Green Lantern Corps.
Yep.
So, yeah. All right. Very cool.
All right. So ready for part 2? Part 2.
Let's hit it. This is
All right.
This is Green Lantern.
Yes, the actual Green Lantern issue. Yes. Green Lantern number 21 from September 2007. Sinestro Corps War, Part 1, Fear and Loathing. Jeff Johns writer again. Ivan Reyes penciler this time. Auclair Albert inker, colors Moose Bauman, letterer Rob Lee, and editor, same editors, Elizabeth P. Gerling and Peter Tomasi. On Oa, let me try that again. On Oa, the Green Lantern Corps are tending to the wounded following the Sinestro Corps attack. Although 20 were killed just in this attack, the Sinestro Corps continue to hunt Green Lanterns across the universe. Hal Jordan notices Tomar 2 unconscious and moves to help him, but the Lost Lanterns fire a blast at him and tell him to back off. Guy Gardner has just about had enough and is ready to tear into them, to which Jack T. Chance and Keyhorn are more than willing to oblige. Kilowog steps in and tells them all to stand down, or he'll remind them all why he was the trainer. John Stewart and Kilowog ask where the Guardians of the Universe are. In the library of the Book of Oa, the Guardians of the Universe are preparing to remove the prophecy of the Blackest Night from the book. Ganthet and Sade oppose this move, saying that by ignoring threats, they are making themselves vulnerable. The other Guardians dismiss the Blackest Night as lies made by the Empire of Tears, and destroy the chapter. Across the universe, the Sinestro Corps continue their campaign against the Green Lanterns. Sinestro observes events with Superboy Prime and the Cyborg Superman, and promises Prime that they will all get what they want. Fear will deliver the universe to them, and the universe will be better for it. On Oa, Hal receives a secret message from Ganthet and Sade. The Sinestro Corps are an unprecedented threat, and the Green Lanterns need a strong leader. Ganthet and Sade believe that Hal is that leader. Hal disagrees, saying that the Corps trusts Sinestro more than him. He'll fight the Sinestro Corps, but he won't be leading anyone. Ganthet says that despite Hal's ability to overcome great fear, there is still one thing he cannot overcome. Ganthet offers to help him do that. Hal says that if he wants to help him, he'll tell him where to find Kyle. Ganthet said that he's on Cord, but they must go now. They promise to do all they can to help the Earthmen, and they promise to hope. Rejoining the others, Guy says that the Lost Lanterns are heading to rescue Ion. Hal and John decide that they're all going and begin recharging their rings in the central power battery. Just as they're finishing, yellow tendrils grab the Earth Lanterns, pulling them into the battery. Alone, Hal suddenly hears Parallax. He knows that Hal claims to have overcome his fear when his father died, but there is something else that Hal fears. For his father died in fear. If his father died in fear. Parallax shows how his father's crash and that his father did say something, but he'll never know what. As the vision ends, Hal finds himself on Cord. And on Cord, he finds Parallax inside Kyle Rayner. Cool.
Yep.
All right.
What a way to end an issue of Green Lantern, right? With a nice reversal of the whole Parallax Green Lantern dynamic there.
Will's like, see, it's not so easy to fight off, is it?
That's right. Okay, I do have a question to ask because it was in. Wait, no, it was in I guess it was in the Sinestro Corps Special. Ion being one of the entities.
Oh, yeah.
I actually really like that explanation and how it explains Ion and the power from Kyle's series, and then the power of Ion series as well, because there were definitely plot points in the power of Ion that Ron Mars laid to be picked up again in this.
Yeah.
And in fact, the next issue that we talk about is written by Ron Mars. So.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Wait, who is it?
No. What I was gonna say. Wait, hold on. No. 2 issues because we still have to do Green Lantern Corps.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it'll be Green Lantern Corps. Then it'll be that one, Power of Ion.
Yes. Yeah.
But who is that writer? I forget, Phil.
Oh, how can you forget? That's our good friend.
This is Ron Mars. You are listening.
That's who it is.
Capes and Lunatics podcast.
Oh, you know what? I have to say I did support our friend Ron Mars because I wasn't going to pick it up, but I was in the comic shop. I was in a comic shop last week. I did pick up all 5 issues of Warlock Rebirth because you know how I feel about Adam Warlock. But
well, the same way I feel about Adam Warlock.
well, I did see Gina Spell was in it, so I was like, okay, I'll give it a chance. I mean, it wasn't bad. Of course, it was Ron Mars written, but.
Yes, so of course it was well written, but it's Adam Warlock.
I know, and again, he kind of gets his butt kicked a little bit, so it was
That must be satisfying.
Yeah, and it's also leading into another mini series. There's going to be a Silver Surfer Genus Spell mini series coming up here soon. So,
is that going to be Ron Mars and Ron Lim?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I know it's at least Ron Mars.
Okay.
That's what. Yeah, we should have talked about that in the beginning. I forgot, but yeah, that's So because Ron Mars, the Adam Warlock one was the second because he did Silver Surfer, then the Warlock, and then this. So this Ron Mars miniseries must be selling.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, why not? Of course, the man's a genius, and he has good taste. He talked to us.
Well, I don't know if that's a point in his favor.
Oh. Well, just to say he's really nice.
Yeah. Yes, I agree with that. 100%.
Oh, yes, it is. Yes, Ron Lim and Ron Mars. So, yes. Well,
nice.
Well, again, Ron Mars writing and Ron Lim art. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The miniseries will be Silver Surfer Rebirth Legacy.
Okay, cool.
Yes. Hold on. Let me see if you can see this. There you go.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Cool.
Of course, set in the 90s, kids. All right. So, sorry, we mentioned Ron Mars. Thought I'd give the man
Yeah.
a shout out once again because two, he did give us his time twice. So.
Yes. So for this issue, it moved things along. eh, we see some dissent in the Guardians, which I think is, a good thing because it is leading to the establishment of the Blue Lanterns, with
Yep.
Ganthet and Saeed. Um, but for beings that have literally lived for billions of years,
They don't never learn their lesson.
you would think that they would learn something occasionally because they keep making the same stupid mistake over and
Yeah.
over again.
I know. I'm just having this conversation. I'm like, how? I mean, I don't know. Do you think it's hard to write for like immortal beings? I was talking about vampires, but I mean, the Guardians are older than that. They're billions of years old. Yeah, I did have that thought though. Yeah, I think while I was reading this, maybe, but because I think I was thinking of this last week. I'm like, yeah, shouldn't the Guardians know, like, yeah, not make the same mistakes and maybe try different approaches after a billion years.
Maybe they have, oh, you know, they only have recent memory. They lose all their old memories every 5 minutes or something. So they just have.
Oh yeah, look at all the people, human beings who get dementia after how many decades? I mean, the Guardians are billions of years old. Either that,
Yeah.
or they're just insane. Because what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result.
Exactly. So yeah, I thought it was interesting that they at that point decided to burn that out of the Book of Oa.
Oh yeah,
But yeah, I mean, this was a really good issue. I mean, it's a regular issue of Green Lantern, right? Just
Mhm.
this is, and
I did like that cover too. With Sinestro just like flying at the.
yeah, yeah, this is a really good issue.
Mhm.
And like we were saying before, every issue builds on the one before it. So you really do need to read the entire, and this was something that was just so big and you know and yet it was focused in just these two titles and these little specials that came out. It wasn't this sprawling thing like
Yeah.
Dark Crisis or anything, that had 18 billion crossovers. It was just, this is the story, and you can read it from beginning to end. It's really, really quite an achievement, I think.
Oh yeah, I think Jeff Johns proved with this event and with the numbers and just the storytelling, it's like, oh yeah, people will buy like multiple Green Lantern books a month if the story's there, the art's there. Yeah, they'll buy it.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, should we get to part 3?
Let's do it.
All right, Green Lantern Corps, not the Tales of Sinestro Special, or yet. Well, Green Lantern Corps number 14 from September 2007. The Sinestro Corps War Part 2, The Gathering Storm. Writer Dave Gibbons, pencilers Patrick Leeson and Angel Unzuta, inker Prentice Rollins, colorist Guy Major, letterer Phil Balsman, and editor Adam Schlagman and Eddie Berganza. In Sector 2263, members of the Sinestro Corps are pursuing Green Lanterns toward their sector house. Once the Lanterns arrive, more Sinestros exit the sector house and massacre the Green Lanterns. On Korrigar, an anti-government rally has gathered in support of Soranik Natu.
Mm-hmm.
Natu herself is there, but she urges the people to return to their homes, saying that she's a doctor, not a healer. The rally organizers use her comments as an example of her modesty, but Soranik insists that she has no desire to use her ring to gain political power. Just then, Sinestro arrives, feeling an air of familiarity with the Green Lantern banners and cheering crowds. As the Corrigans flee in terror, Soranik declares that Sinestro is under arrest. Amused at the prospect of being taken down by his former ring, Sinestro attacks. In Sector 3009, Green Man continues his search for Stell. Although he admits he is acting more like an Earthman than a regular Green Lantern, Green Man continues his search against all reason, as Stell was his friend. To his joy, Green Man discovers Stell is alive and hugs him, explaining that he was not in control of his actions when he attacked him. Stell has been receiving Parallax updates in regards to Sinestro Corps strikes on Oa, and he believes that the yellow virus is a member, moving in a preemptive strike to eliminate lanterns that it could not infect, namely Mogo and Stell. Remember last episode, kids? Green Man decides to take Stell to Mogo for repairs before they return to Oa. On Corrigar, Sinestro is easily dominating his fight with Soranik. The police soon arrive, having been sent to break up the rally, only to then turn their weapons on Sinestro. Sinestro laments what has happened to Corrigar since his expulsion from the Corps, riots and armed police in the streets, and decides to remind the Corrigans what happened when people disobeyed his rule. As Sinestro begins killing random Corrigans, Soranik hurls a jagged piece of shrapnel at Sinestro, only for her ring to deflect the shard away, saying that she's attempting to use lethal force. Remember this, kids? Sinestro is impressed with her ruthlessness and notes that there is a greater weakness beyond the yellow impurity. In deep space, Arkillo is working a group of Cordian slaves, killing one in the process. In Kaphos, another senior member of the Sinestro Corps reminds Arkillo not to kill all the Cordians. Arkillo points out that direct action is very effective, to which in Kaphos believes he's referring to their previous assault. In Kaphos is more insidious subtly than Arkillo, but since Sinestro has declared war on the Green Lantern Corps, it's time to move on their next target. Arkillo orders the Sinestro Corps and the Manhunters to prepare for battle. On Corrigar, Sinestro has all but won his battle with Soranik. He's surprised that she hasn't called Princess Ireland yet, and notes that in his day, he kept order in Sector 1417 for years by himself. Sinestro knows what Soranik is truly afraid of, becoming a monster like him. However, he has decided not to kill her. Sinestro knows that he's had his victory, and he believes that Soranik will stay here now that he's shown Soranik her place. It will also do well for the Corrigans, and they will believe that she defeated Sinestro and will rally to her. Sinestro releases her and leaves. Soranik falls to the ground but survives. As the Corrigans believe that Sinestro would not have spared her life, they think that she defeated Sinestro. Even the police sent to arrest her begin hailing Soranik Natu as the savior of Corrigar. On Oa, Kilowog addresses his current group of rookies and some of the veterans. Because of the Sinestro Corps recent attacks, the current group of rookies are getting their badges now and are ordered to charge their rings and assemble for deployment. As the group splits up, Aricia asks a new rookie, Sodom Yat, remember that name, if he's ready. Sodom replies that he has to be. Salak asks to speak to Aricia in private and gives her instructions to keep an eye on Sodom Yat. Aricia asks why he's so special, and Salak replies that if she performs her duties, she'll learn why. Returning the Cord, Sinestro requests an update on the status of the war. He is informed that the Green Lanterns on Cord and is quite pleased to learn that Hal Jordan is among them. Now in sight of Mogo, Green Man and Stell are making their approach when Stell notices an eclipse occurring at rapid speed. Green Man and Stell turn around and discover that the Sinestro Corps is about to attack Mogo, and they brought a friend, Ranks the sentient city, now enlarged as a planet.
I seem to remember something about the Blackest Night, Sodom Yat, Ranks the city. Yeah, something's going on here, Phil. I don't know what it is, but something's going on.
And I do love how, like, you know, this is like a sign of a good crossover where it's like, yeah, it's a cohesive like whole, but like each book it can retain their own like little separate identity.
Yep.
And like their
Now,
art and stuff. Yeah.
Spoilers. So if you don't want to know this yet and you haven't read ahead, stop listening. I don't think Sinestro knows who Soranik is yet, right?
Yeah, I can't.
She doesn't know either. I don't.
No, she
yeah,
don't know.
she definitely doesn't know.
I can't remember when he learns it or what. Yeah, so
Mhm. That's coming.
yeah. But no, I find that interesting. It's not just your regular random superhero battle where they just like punch each other out. It's like Sinestro's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna mess with I'm gonna mess with you, and they're gonna think you defeated me, and you're the great hero now, and
Yeah.
you're gonna stay here. You're
And keep our people safe.
gonna stay out of the war. Yeah.
Mhm. He does have a soft spot for Kurgar.
hmm And we're mentioning that the no kill rule.
Mm-hmm.
Is
Yeah, because she was going to take him out.
Yep. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I mean, again, I guess I'm judging her by human standards, but a doctor trying to kill somebody, yeah.
Well, you kill the cancer to save the patient, right? I
Well,
mean,
yeah,
it's a-
too, and I mean, in the eyes of the Corrigans, I guess,
yeah,
Sinestro is basically Hitler.
yeah. So he's Space Hitler. So
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, and this read interesting to me, knowing what we know about their relationship. It read interesting. Okay, neither of them know yet. Okay, cool. But yeah, this was a really good issue. Although,
And we're bringing Aricia back into the spotlight here. Yeah.
yeah, with Sodom Yat, who is a Green Lantern from Werefield. Do you remember where he's from?
Isn't it Daxam?
He is a Daxamite, yes. Which means, you can take him out with the number 2 pencil. Sorry.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. Yeah, you can take him out with a number 2 pencil.
Bazinga!
Exactly. But and he's around for quite a bit in the series, after Sinestro
Yeah.
Corps War, I think. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I like what they're doing with this book, where they're introducing new Green Lanterns, but it's like kind of like in the company of Green Lanterns we already know. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a good issue, and a nice little ending to that, right?
mm-hmm. A little ending, no. All right, should we get to the last issue?
Let's do it.
I know you were ready to jump the gun there. All right, kids. Tales of the Sinestro Corps, #1, Parallax, from this is November 2007. Although I thought this, never mind. All right, so Fearful Symmetry, of course, again written by friend of the show,
This is Ron Mars. You are listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
penciler Adriana Mello, inker Marlo Aquiza, colorist Jason Wright, letterer Jared K. Fletcher, and editor Eddie Berganza. In his mind, Kyle Rayner imagines he is in his mother's house looking at an old picture she had several stories about getting. See, kids, told you that painting come back. Cal is trying to leave, to retake control, but he cannot leave. He can, however, observe what is going on and sees himself fighting Hal Jordan. At the same time, Parallax, in his Kyle Rayner-inspired outfit, comes for a visit. He remarks on all that is going on and all the people he has loved who have died. Alex, Donna, Jane, and finally his mother, Mara. He also torments Cal by saying that he is the reason they all died. Still having some control, Cal assumes his ion suit and attacks with green energy constructs, but Parallax takes them down and reminds Cal that he is no longer Ion. Cal agrees and assumes his original uniform, complete with ring. Parallax is still able to overpower Cal and forces him to see what is going on outside, the death of Jack T. Chance. Cal loses control and drives his pencil into Parallax's eye, only for Parallax to laugh, saying that he is still trapped in his own mind, and leaves. Enraged, Cal begins smashing things and picks up the old painting when he suddenly sees that the name of the artist is Maura Rayner. She had painted it all along, intended to be her gift to him, and that he is who he is because of her. In that way, she'll be with him, and he isn't alone. It fills him with hope, and he soon finds himself in the field, walking forward. As he walks, he sees a light ahead. Green Lantern's light.
Nice.
So, okay, I mean, on some level, was he aware that this was his mother's painting? Because I'm like, this is all in his head.
He had to be, at some point. Maybe he saw the signature when he didn't recognize it, when he was so
Maybe.
young, but then, now he's able to piece it together. But yeah, I thought this was a really good issue.
Oh, yeah.
And I have to say, and I'm sure you're gonna comment on this too, the return to the original costume.
Yes. Yes, that Daryl Banks costume. Yeah, again, it's I think it's the best he's had. But
Yeah.
what was I gonna say? But yeah, I don't think we've gotten a story before. I mean, after the fact. But did we ever? I don't think we ever got a story where, like, when Hal was infected with Parallax, was he like sitting in a room like this?
I don't know. I don't think we got a story like that. I think we're kind of meant to think that, yeah, he was kind of trapped, but still able to exert
Yeah.
some of his willpower against, Parallax, because ultimately, Parallax can say whatever Parallax wants, but he had no idea that he was going to get bonded to the Spectre. I mean,
Oh yeah.
come on, yeah. I mean, come on.
I
Who'd have
mean,
thunk, right?
I mean, because I was thinking, because Hal was locked in Parallax longer than anybody, and it's like that must have been like a living hell for him, the man of action, and he was subtly exerting some influence, but he couldn't actively like do anything.
Yeah, that would have been pretty horrible. But then, ultimately they let him, he, took out the Sun Eater during Final Night, and
Yeah.
then the Spectre, which that Spectre series is still fabulous. It's a fabulous series. And
Mhm.
if the whole Spectre thing wouldn't have happened, we wouldn't have got that. And again, a lot of it was kind of the reset button was hit during that JSA arc, so that it could be in it. The Spectre and Hal and everyone could be in very specific positions for Rebirth. But that Spectre series is still pretty awesome, and we get a lot of. This issue gives us a lot of callbacks to Kyle, and not to correct the evil fearbug or anything, but so far he's only batting about 500 because Jade and Donna are not dead.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, at this point, Jade was kind of dead.
Yeah, I
But
know.
yeah. Well, Cal even said, he's like, Donna's not dead anymore, and he's like,
Yeah.
yeah, for how long?
Yeah, exactly. But and I think it does something else too, because it's setting Kyle up for his new status quo post Sinestro Corps War.
Yeah.
With Space Hitler's daughter.
Can't hold that against her. Come on.
I know. Yep.
Boy, does that make you popular in the chorus? You're basically when you are dating Space Hitler's daughter.
And you're friends with Hal Jordan and Guy Gardner.
Oh yeah, double whammy, yeah, triple whammy.
That's like
yeah.
3 strikes right there.
Yeah, but I mean, I think some of that gets offset with he's friends with Kilowog.
That's true. Yeah.
And John Stewart.
Yeah.
And none of you would be here with rings if it wasn't for me.
Exactly. Yeah, he's the angel, right? Is that what they called him at the very first one?
Oh yeah. Oh, that's all those Earth Green Lanterns. I could see Guy Gardner saying, "Well, at least I'm not Hal Jordan."
Yeah. Well, there was that. I'm friends with. Oh, I'm your friend.
Oh, I didn't know you cared.
Yeah. Yeah. This was good, and I think a really kind of good way to end this first block that we're, because there's still there's hope there, but things are still looking pretty bad, and we're, a quarter of the way through. Things are going to get worse.
Oh yeah, I mean, Cyborg, Superman, Superboy Prime, they haven't made their moves yet. Yeah, no.
Yeah. Yep. Now, and I don't remember.
I don't remember a lot of this. It's been so long since I read this.
Yeah. Superboy Prime, was he dealt with in Final Crisis?
I mean, he keeps coming back. Eventually, I think he keeps coming back to like Dark Knight's Metal or something. Eventually, spoilers, he gets sent back to his own universe. But
Yes.
it was only a few years ago, so it's not.
Oh, okay, cool. So it's all right. Gotcha.
Yeah, no, he's in and out for a while.
And he's pretty much, at this point, the Anti-Monitor, and Cyborg Superman are all firmly Green Lantern characters, at this point, because I mean they're in the Sinestro Corps War. So yeah, excellent.
Yes. All right. Anything else, William?
No, I'd forgotten a lot of this stuff, and
Me too.
it's good. It's good reading it again. It's as good as I remember.
I know.
If not better.
Yes, exactly. All right. So next week, kids, part 2. We're gonna read Green Lantern 22 and 23, Green Lantern Corps 15, and Tales of the Sinestro Corps Cyborg Superman #1. So Mr. Henshaw, or as I think of him, DC's version of Evil Reed Richards.
Yeah. I could have sworn the Guardians were going to lock him up forever. What happened? I don't think that worked out.
Because they're too passive. Will remember Emerald Twilight. Oh, he's headed for the central battery. He's going to blow up the entire core. Don't you dare.
Yes. Wait. Yeah. What? No. What? Let's.
He even took his ring off. Tackle his ankles. Come on.
Bite his ankles.
Something.
Put him in a green bubble. Not to borrow from Quasar, but there you go.
Exactly. All right. So yeah, there's your homework, kids. So all right, send us your thoughts. Email us capesandlunatics@gmail.com or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can find all things Capes and Lunatics, episodes, social media, merchandise, the Patreon. Please subscribe to the Patreon. All Lilith Hellfire's drunken thoughts on every part of Heroes Reborn is up now, so go check it out. Learn the answer, which was her least favorite Heroes Reborn series, and it's not Captain America, as we were led to believe.
Oh, darn it.
So yes, kids. So that's why you must subscribe to the Patreon. So find everything all in one place. That's tubespace.io/Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network. That's tubespace.io/Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network. All right, Mr. Will Allred, master of the Green Lantern Corps, master of the Quantum Zone, master of Kickstarter comics, master of podcasting, master of, well, having every Green Lantern story in multiple formats. Where can people get
you can find me at Walred. That's at WALLRED on Facebook, and I would say Twitter, but it's turning into. You can also find me at Blue Sky and yeah, X, Twitter. I miss my old Twitter, but whatever. If you'd like to read some of the comics that I write, you can find Crossover Division at crossoverdivision.com. We're putting the final touches on the files for the hardcover, so that's going to be done soon, and we'll finish fulfillment on that and launch number 5, hopefully in a few months. We'll see how that works out. You can also check out Diary of Night at diaryofnight.com. It's another book that we've done on Kickstarter. And Phil is not the only podcaster that I annoy on a regular basis. That would also be writer Kevin Joseph of Tart. We have a show we do called Explain Yourself, where we bring on comic book creators who are doing crowdfunding campaigns, mostly Kickstarter, and try to shine a light on all those really cool comics projects that are out there. So that's Explain Yourself. And finally, you obviously have great taste because you're here, which means you probably love Quasar almost as much as Phil and I love Quasar. So if you'd like to find out more about Quasar, you can check that out at the Quantum Zone, quantumzone.org. I'll put it in my navel.
Hey, boys, you look at the party. I love the party.
All right, where am I going next, Will?
They aren't even attempting to enter our orifices.
I'm shocked that got written into a Marvel comic.
This is the 90s. What didn't they do in comics in the 90s?
Seems like I'm getting a package every other day. I, of course, love Hal Jordan.
I do.
He's the opposite of Sinestro. All right, kids. Thank you for joining us again. Next week, part 2 of Sinestro Corps War. Hell, the next 3 weeks. It's all Sinestro Corps all the time.
Right. Yellow, the color of fear.
Oh. Nobody's super great characters. All right, kids, come back next time. Come join us. And remember, go tell your auntie. Monitor. Good night.